All right. So next, I just want to get a better sense of, your cultural background and who you are and what you identify and what that means to you. If you don't mind sharing today.
Okay, yeah. So I grew up in a small southern town, very religious. I didn't have a very religious family. I didn't grow up in the church or anything like that. So that was kind of hard being around that, and I felt like um, the community kind of judged me for that, kind of not sharing the same religious backgrounds. So that was kind of hard. My mom's a teacher, so I grew up um, kind of being at this high standard of, you have to go to college, you have to get a good job, kind of expectations. My dad worked for a university, so my whole family had these high expectations of what I needed to be and what I needed to do when I was older. So that was kind of a lot. It was kind of hard to deal with. Also, I am the youngest of four. So that kind of had a lot to do with it as well. People kind of thought of me as the good child, so I always had the high expectations. So yeah, that was kind of difficult.
Okay. All right. So I know you said that the community, they didn't really agree with your religious belief. May I ask, what is your religious background?
Um, I was baptized Catholic, but I do not practice any religious, um, really any religious celebrations or anything like that currently.
Okay.
Um, my family used to go to church. Then we had some differences, some things we didn't really agree with. And then when I moved to a small town, um, we just kind of felt like we weren't welcomed.
Hmm.
Um, and because we didn't agree with some of the stuff, so we kind of just isolated ourselves from the church and our community. So that was kind of difficult, kind of growing up with friends that obviously everyone went to church on Sunday, and I was the little girl that didn't go to church because
Right.
my family didn't go to church. So that was kind of hard to deal with. Also kind of not knowing stuff about um, religion that should have been known, and people would kind of judge me for it. That was kind of difficult to deal with, but
Okay. And just comparing like the small town, like just living there and now, like what have you learned about yourself from being there or being from there and, living where you're at now?
I think I've become more comfortable with myself. I live in Greensboro now, so I have kind of um, a bigger community. I feel like not growing up in a small town, everyone knows everyone, everyone judges everyone, kind of thing. So
Mhm.
now I feel like I'm my own person. People don't know me from when I was little. People know me as the person I am right now. So yeah, I feel like I can kind of have my own time to be my own person and not necessarily be judged on the things that everyone knows about me just because I lived in a small town.
Okay. All right. I definitely get that.
So since I moved to Greensboro, I've got to experience more things. This is a very much more diverse place than my hometown, so I've got to experience more um, cultures, more people of different ethnicities, and got to interact with that kind of thing. Also, I started attending NCCU a year ago, so that kind of gave me more insight into different cultures and kind of how I should understand myself as a white female. So I've kind of learn more about my privilege as a white woman and how I need to understand different cultures more. So I've tried to kind of integrate my life into different populations of people to try and learn that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay. And just stemming off of that, like, how do you feel about our counseling relationship? You know, me identifying as an African American woman and you identifying as a white Caucasian woman. Like, how do you, how are you going to respond to that in our counseling relationship, or how do you feel about that? More to speak.
I feel comfortable in a sense, and then I guess uncomfortable in another sense. I feel like, especially with the issues of today, especially since like this year, there's a lot of movements going on and police brutality and issues like that. So I feel like white people, and obviously I identify as Caucasian, so, or I am Caucasian, are kind of in the oppressor category because we're considered the oppressors. So that kind of makes the situation a little uncomfortable. So maybe I don't want to, I have this fear of being misunderstood in the way I don't want to say something and it be taken wrong.
Right.
So I guess hesitant would be the word, that maybe I'm just a little hesitant in this session, but I hope like as we continue, I get more comfortable. But I feel like this is something I'm going to have to work on.
Yes, definitely. Um, just know that I'm here to make you feel comfortable no matter what we identify as. And then also to like, just wanted to let you know that I will also make sure that our communication is very open. Um, and so that way, you know, once we do work through these differences or, you know, your hesitation, that you'll be more confident later on to speak about however you are feeling.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well, well, this wraps up our session for today. We will be meeting next Thursday at the same time. So I do look forward to seeing you. And hopefully we can work through, you know, those differences. We can talk more about that. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.